Before we move further into this story, tell us in the comments if you've ever been in a moment where one small mistake could change everything. And if you want more untold real-life stories, hit that like button and subscribe. It was the kind of morning that looked ordinary from the outside but carried a quiet intensity inside the precinct. The early sunlight spilled across the polished concrete floor of the city's elite highway patrol garage. Rows of immaculate police cruisers gleamed like steel predators ready to hunt. These weren't just vehicles, they were precision-tuned machines, lifelines in the split-second battles between law and chaos. Officer Daniel Reaves had spent years earning his spot in the Special Response Traffic Unit, a small, highly trained division trusted with intercepting the most dangerous drivers, from armed fugitives to drug runners trying to vanish on the interstate. Every officer knew the rules here. Perfection wasn't a goal, it was survival. Your gear, your weapon, your vehicle, everything had to be flawless. That morning, Daniel was assigned his unit's newest cruiser, a heavily modified Dodge Charger Pursuit, fitted with top-tier performance tuning, computer-linked surveillance, and push bumpers that could withstand impacts most vehicles wouldn't survive. But in the minutes before roll call, during the routine pre-shift inspection, he made a mistake so small it seemed almost harmless, and yet in this world, it was the kind that could ruin careers. The onboard dash system wasn't calibrated. It was barely noticeable. But if left unchecked, it meant his speed tracking radar could be off by just enough to make any arrest or ticket invalid in court. In this unit, that wasn't just sloppy, it was unacceptable. When the senior inspector caught it, Daniel felt the burn of humiliation cut deep. He knew officers had been reassigned, even stripped of their status for less. His spotless reputation felt like it was slipping away before the shift had even begun. Daniel stood frozen, heart pounding, waiting for the verdict. The man standing in front of him, Lieutenant Marcus Hale, a 20-year veteran and the unit's undisputed leader, had a reputation for being brutally strict. The kind of man who could spot a smudge on a badge from across the garage and tear you apart for it. But Hale didn't yell. He didn't lecture. He just leaned closer and said in a low voice, "You've got 5 minutes. Fix it. Don't ever hand me sloppy again." And then he walked away. It wasn't leniency, it was a challenge. Hale wasn't giving him a free pass. He was giving him the smallest possible window to prove that he belonged here. Daniel sprinted into action, recalibrating the radar system with the precision of a surgeon. His hands moved faster than his thoughts, each button press echoing in the silent intensity of the garage. He ran the diagnostics twice, then 3 times, until the system read perfect. Exactly to spec. When Hale came back, he didn't smile. He didn't need to. A single nod told Daniel everything. His place here wasn't gone. But that nod carried a warning. This was the last mistake he'd be allowed. What Daniel didn't know was that before the day ended, that very same radar system, the one he had almost failed to set, would become the key to a high-speed pursuit that would test everything he had. The leader tried to laugh. "What is this? Your grandsons?" The tall man stepped closer, his eyes never leaving the young punk's face. "You know who you're talking to?" he asked quietly. The leader shrugged. "Some old guy who doesn't know when to." "Watch your mouth," the tall man cut in, his voice like steel. "This man is Thomas Walker, former chief inspector. 40 years on the force. Took down the Merino syndicate. Put away men twice as dangerous as you before you could even tie your shoes." The words hung in the air, heavy as lead. The other young men shifted uncomfortably. "Sir," one of the plainclothes agents said to Tom, "just say the word." Tom shook his head. "No need. They just needed a reminder." He turned his gaze on the leader, his voice steady. "Respect's not about fear. It's about knowing who you're talking to and how you talk to them. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me." The leader swallowed, his smirk gone. "Sorry," he muttered. Tom didn't blink. "Say it like you mean it." "I'm sorry, sir," the man said louder, his buddies keeping their eyes on the floor. The tall man gave Tom a nod. Without another word, the group of agents filed out, the door hissing shut behind them. Engines roared, tires splashed, and the SUVs melted into the rain. Tom slid out of the booth, left a few bills on the table, and walked toward the door. "Enjoy your meal," he said to the group without looking back. "Some people walk alone. Others never really do."